Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure and privilege to be given the space and opportunity to speak to you as a group of allied health students, the future generation of your health service. I want to start by mentioning two names that I know and that I think you should know too. Awar Bishak was 2 years old. He was taken to an urgent care center with shortness of breath and was transferred to Royal Oldham Hospital, but later discharged. Awab deteriorated the next day, and his parents were advised by the community children's nursing team to take him back to the urgent care center. He went into respiratory arrest and then cardiac arrest whilst being transferred to hospital. He died upon arrival. It was later confirmed that 2-year-old Awab died due to prolonged exposure of mold in the one-bedroom flat that he lived in with his parents. His father had previously raised concerns with the council, but was ignored. There's Yusuf Mahmoud Nazir, who was 5 years old. Yusuf fell ill with just a sore throat on the 13th of November this past year. His uncle said he begged staff at Rotherham Hospital to treat his nephew's severe throat infection. He said he was told that the children's ward had not got the doctors and not got the beds. 5-year-old Yusuf died just days later. At this moment of uncertainty, where there's much to be said of our NHS, we must ask ourselves, where is the health in our health system? And where is the care in our health care? As a student and future doctor, I have the sheer privilege and responsibility of seeing people at their most vulnerable, their most scared, and their most private, of giving patients the space to speak to their internal agonies, giving language to it, sometimes even offering a diagnosis of it. It was in such moments where I learned that the most healing of medicine wasn't always therapies, injections, pills, syrups, or infusions. Medicine was a drama workshop for the elderly and isolated dementia patients. Medicine was financial support and advice that eased anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts for that man I saw in clinic. Medicine can be quite simply, but most crucially, instilling validation, connection, meaning, and purpose. This isn't a singular realization. We, the future generation of the health workforce, are recognizing the value of holistic, patient-centered care, the importance of social prescribing to our NHS.
My name is Katie. I'm a final year medical student. Social prescribing is important to the NHS as, due to our increasingly aging population, it's important to provide social support as well as physical support. Through my work in general practice, I have seen firsthand the positive impact that social prescribing can have on people's lives. For example, an elderly lady who was able to combat her loneliness by joining a local group. I think that social prescribing should be more widely available and signposted in the NHS to enable more people to access these vital services.
My name is David. I'm a final year speech and language therapy student. Social prescribing is integral to the future of the NHS because it allows us as users to communicate what is important to us and what makes a difference to our mental and physical health. It gives professionals that most important power to make people feel heard, listened to, cared about, understood. It gives us the opportunity to explain who we are, what good health and good living means to us, and what help we need to attain it.
My name is Wenton, and I'm a final year medical student. Social prescribing is important to the NHS because, as I observed during my recent GP placement, it can improve patients' health and well-being in a non-clinical way and alleviate pressure on our health services. Be it the father with depression, which has affected his work and led to weight gain referred to a walking group, or the young woman with anxiety referred to group workshops, enabling her to continue her daily activities. Social prescribing strengthens our communities and has far-reaching social, economic, and environmental benefits.
My name is Matthew Hennigan, and I'm a fourth-year medical student at the University of Liverpool. In a time when the NHS is under immense pressure and patient satisfaction with the health service is at an all-time low, social prescribing will be the way that we, as future clinicians, can care for patients in a holistic way. I've seen, even on a personal level, how social prescribing really digs to the bottom of what patients truly need. And it's this personalized care that will allow for patients to be treated in a way that matters to them. Prevention of disease and effective management of symptoms and risk factors are the key components of a caring health service, and social prescribing will allow us to do just that. It's not something of the future. The widespread use of social prescribing is something that's needed today.
I'm Cara, a medical student from Cardiff. As we've heard today, social prescribing is key to the future of the NHS. I think it's very much time for us to be thinking more holistically for our patients, with a movement towards preventative healthcare. I'm involved in a community garden where we are welcoming patients from our local GP cluster, and I've seen firsthand the sense of connection, purpose, and friendship that's built within the group, and how beneficial even just being in the outdoors is for those who are at their most isolated.
Hello, my name is Kirsty and I'm an occupational therapy student. Occupational therapy's ethos has always been to use meaningful activity, occupation, as a therapeutic tool to improve health and well-being. On my hospital placement, however, I saw the logistical difficulties of doing woodwork with a patient who had that passion, whilst I was assigned to assess their mobility. Or to sidetrack assessing a patient's equipment needs by exploring how to adapt fishing for them, since their continence issues meant they would need a new approach to this hobby, or a new hobby in their community. Social prescribing, however, could work with these patients on these goals. I hope social prescribing can be a way for us to streamline the provision of occupation to those that the current system and time pressures regrettably prevent us from reaching ourselves.
My name is Zoe, and I'm a medical student. Social prescribing is important to the NHS because it provides better outcomes to patients, treating them holistically, improving their overall health and well-being, and connecting them to their communities. I saw its impact firsthand in my GP placement, where a patient that had lost her job due to her chronic pain was suffering with depression and anxiety for years. She was able to find support and recover through her social prescription activities, including financial advice, exercising with a weekly walking group, and volunteering in a local art class. After 6 months, not only did her chronic pain improve, but her anxiety and depression eased, and she was able to begin working again for the first time in years.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monika. I'm a final year medical student at Leicester. But for most of my life, I've also been a patient of the NHS too. So when I say to you that we all have the ability within us to nurture our own well-being and create good health, it's coming from a place of experience. It was through my own community that I found things like reflexology, acupuncture, yogic therapy, Ayurvedic massage, the list goes on. And whilst I think that these things might not necessarily fix the problem or cured me, let's say, it did connect me to a great network of people. And these people each came with their own individual experiences of managing symptoms, and they all had tips and tricks, which made me realize how to better get a good understanding of my own situation and how I could improve it. And so I truly believe that patients can take control of their own health journey, but it's a lot easier said than done. And that's why I'm passionate about social prescribing. It connects patients directly to the resources that are already available in the community. They just have to engage with it. It's got a holistic approach, so it tackles all aspects of chronic illness, including the social aspect, which is really fun. And you'd be surprised how many people in life are going through similar struggles, and just having that conversation with someone who's in a familiar situation, even if it's just one thing that you can work on, it's a step in the right direction towards better health.
My name is Veronica, a final year medical student from the University of Bristol. Social prescribing is important to me because I've experienced firsthand how it has empowered patients and activated them to take control of their health in supported environments. Many chronic and mental health conditions can often feel overwhelming and can create the illusion of hopelessness. Social prescribing exists as the hope many patients need to keep pushing through.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks 75 years since the NHS was formed, when we decided that illness is not just a personal calamity, and helping to heal is something we must all take part of as a community. Social prescribing carries the essence and ethos of this 75-year-old message, taking us to a future of healthier individuals and healthier communities. As health creation moves beyond the brick and mortar of our hospitals, our hope is to deliver medicine beyond medicines. As the health profession finally widens its focus and perspective beyond the biomedical and into the biopsychosocial, our hope is to not just treat ill health, but to prevent it. Our hope for the future is to move beyond sick care. We admit the sick, we tend to the sick, we care for and heal the sick. Our health system is designed to respond to crises, but not developed with a vision of health creation and disease prevention. Our hope for the future is a true national health service. As allied health students, our promise, our solemn oath is to dedicate ourselves to the well-being of our patients. But what of our invisible patients? Patients who we will never see because they don't have the privilege to even come to our clinic. Patients who don't have the privilege to navigate their health system, communicate their stresses and concerns. People who are the most dispossessed, disenfranchised, and disregarded. By working at the community level, social prescribing makes sure that as our communities thrive, our most vulnerable populations do too. And it's for this we give our heartfelt thanks to the social prescribers, the link workers, the community connectors, and all those who work and support and advocate for social prescribing. You're working to create health in our health system and putting care back in our healthcare so that one day there'll never be another Awab or Yusuf again. Thank you.